In this video, I'm going to be talking about a very simple and effective procedure where you can protest against the participation of your government in the Israel Gaza conflict, and you get to save some money as well.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Businesses need a platform that allows people to access and manage their office workstation from anywhere and anytime. WebConnect does just that. Our browser-based desktop platform enables you to seamlessly migrate your office into a private cloud, giving you total control of your desktop, files, and important data. It's encrypted end-to-end connection, making it totally secure and ensuring peace of mind for users and administrators alike. Put WebConnect to the test and transform the way you work remotely.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris Rich working with you to get well, working with you to advance the cause of peace. I am joined by Gordon Dimmack, journalist and anti-war campaigner, and Chris Coverdale, anti-war campaigner and researcher extraordinaire. Now, before I introduce them, please subscribe to my channels, bit.ly/CryptoRich3Speak and bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey, and also Gordon Dimmack's channels, gordondimmack.com, and links in the description below. And Chris Coverdale, you will find on our channels, and hopefully in more and more places as people find out, word gets out about this very, very safe and effective way, legal way of protesting against war. Now, let me see. Chris, do you want to introduce yourself very briefly?
Yes, okay. Basically, I've been an anti-war campaigner and a corruption investigator, and started in about 2002 to try to hold our government to account for the horrendous war crimes and things they were committing in the Middle East. Yes,
and still are committing. Gordon?
Yeah, I started journalism about 7 years ago. I'm an independent journalist from the UK, and I started it because our media in this country are captured by the establishment and feed the country entirely false narratives. And I started the channel to fight back against that. I'm an activist in the pro-Palestine movement and the Julian Assange freedom movement.
Fabulous. And what all three of us are interested in is ending war, and that our governments not support war, whether it's the war in Ukraine and Russia or the new conflict that's happening in Israel and Gaza, where one group of people are killing another group of people, and our government is supporting one particular side. I don't want them supporting any particular side. And what they do is they take our tax money and then they use it to fund the killing of people versus using it for things like hospitals, roads, schools, taking care of our elderly and our homeless. No. And I don't want my tax money being used to kill people. So, Chris, now, but by the way, just so everybody knows, that the model that Chris is going to talk about applies in all nations that are signatories to the International Criminal Court. So, Chris, please tell us, what is the process?
Yes, basically, there was a law. In 1998, the nations set up the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. That was a treaty that introduced a law enforcement authority, the International Criminal Court in The Hague, and some laws underpinning that. And the laws are all crimes associated with warfare, and they are war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide, and conduct ancillary to war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide. Now, when they introduce these, they make it a criminal offense in every nation that is signed up to and has ratified the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. And so I discovered in 2002 that it was a criminal offense in England, where I am at the moment, to fund warfare. It is a criminal offense of conduct ancillary to war crimes, crimes against humanity, or genocide if one or more persons are killed intentionally by the actions of a government. And that really is the underpinning of all the 125 nations who are currently have ratified the Rome Statute. So it's a criminal offense of conduct ancillary to genocide to fund the warfare. So Every time you pay tax, you are knowingly funding, part of your taxes will go towards buying weapons and training troops and to support the wars going on in the Middle East. And right now it's happening in Israel and Palestine, and Palestinians are being murdered in their thousands, and that is a criminal offence of conduct ancillary to genocide by our leaders and all by our taxpayers, all taxpayers.
Right. Okay. Now we're talking about this in Britain, but it would apply to all the other nations that have ratified the Rome Statute on the International Criminal Court. So I'm committing a criminal offence by giving this government money that they're then using to cause genocide. Now, what's the sentence that if found guilty of that I could face?
Well, if you are charged with conduct ancillary to genocide, if you pay, say, £2,000 council tax, you know that £200 of that approximately will go towards the mass murder of men, women, and children via weapons, via troops, and other things. So you could be put in prison. And if you were convicted of a crime of conduct ancillary to genocide, it could be 30 years in prison.
Wow. Okay. But wow. Okay. I didn't know it was that much. 30 years for. Okay. Well, that makes me even more anti-war. Now, but can I not just withhold £200 or 10% of my tax?
No. Basically, you have no right to decide where your money is going. So it's either all or nothing. So if you carry on paying your taxes, you are committing a criminal offence, and you have to withhold every penny of it because Parliament decides how that money is going to be spent. It all goes into one pot, and then it's taken out of that one pot by Parliament, and 10% of it goes towards warfare. And if you only pay 10% or 90% of your taxes, that doesn't matter. They will put 9% of that money towards war. And so you cannot find any other way. You have to withhold it all.
Right, because I don't want to spend 30 years in prison. Now, this applies to any money that goes into the government coffers. So that would be council tax, speeding tickets, parking fines, LTN fines, ULEZ fines, capital gains tax, income tax, VAT, any payment, court fines, anything that goes into the government accounts by any way, right?
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned, and I didn't follow this up because we've done a few videos together about this, but for energy bills and water bills as well, yes. How does that work?
Well, two ways. One is that every energy bill has a 5% VAT attached to it. So you know that is going to go straight to the government. And the second thing is that when you pay money to the energy companies, you know that they are going to pay their salaries, and off those salaries, they will deduct PAYE and national insurance and send that straight to the government. And if they make profits at the end of the year, they'll be paying corporation taxes. And so that goes to the government. And in effect, at least 25% of your energy bill will go to the British government. And of that, 10% will go for warfare and mass murder and genocide.
Okay, so then can I not withhold, say, 25% of my energy bills?
Well, the point is that if any money goes to the government, so of the 75% that you pay, you know they'll put some of that to the government in VAT, and some of it will go through their employees' PAY and national insurance and so on. So whatever you do, it's either everything or nothing. And you really have to pay nothing.
I get it. So even if you pay 75%, they'll just still take 25% of that. And
exactly.
Right. So then paying any energy company or water bill or the BBC TV license, some of that money goes towards causing genocide. Therefore, I'm guilty of the offence of ancillary to genocide, and I could face 30 years imprisonment if found guilty.
Exactly right, Rich.
Right. Now, what about the people that are asking me for the money? That if the energy company asks me, say, listen, you got to pay us, or the tax revenue company, they say to me, you got to pay us. Are they committing a criminal offence?
Absolutely. There's another international statute that you need to know about, and that is the Convention for the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism. That has been ratified by 188 nations. That means that it is domestic criminal law in 188 states worldwide. And the key offence is providing the money which will be used, as they describe it, for the purposes of terrorism. And they describe terrorism as the use of firearms or explosives endangering life for a political or ideological cause. That's the definition in the UK, and it's slightly tighter internationally. But
I wonder if that could be used against them in the Palestinian conflict. I wonder if that definition fits Palestine. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
And Ukraine.
It's tricky.
And Ukraine, Russia.